my name is Daniel. Today I'm gonna teach you properties of logarithms and how you can use them to solve basic mathematics problems. So there are very different properties, so we'll just do examples as we go. So we can start with addition. So let's say the log of we'll start with multiplication or product. So log of A times B, this will be equal to the log of A plus log of B. So we can do an example right now to prove this. So if we have the log of 3 times 4, it's the same as saying the log of 3 plus the log of 4. And just because this is an example, I chose not to write the basis, but if you have an actual problem, if you have a log without any base, you just assume that the base of this log will be 10, right? So let's do another example, but this time let's specify the basis so that it will be easier to solve the problems. So if you have log of 2 8 times 16, this can be simplified to log base 2 of 8 plus log of 2 16. What this means is that one number, because you have a base of 2, what you essentially want to know is that what number would you have to raise 2 to get 8. So we can know that this one will be 2 raised to the power 3, because 2 times 2 times 2 will be 3, and this one will also be 4, because 2 raised to the power 4 will give us 16. So this will simplify to 3 plus 4, which is 7. Right, so we're going to move on to the next property of logs, log properties, which will be quotient, which is the same as division. So for quotient, let's say we have a log of base 2 of A divided by B. You can rewrite this as log of base 2 A minus log of 2B. So we can also do a similar example. We can use the same example we used for this one. So let's just rewrite this as log of base 2 8 over 16, and this should give us, following the property stated above, we should get log of 2 8 minus log of 2 16. Okay, so this should give us, similarly, we know that we have to raise 2 to the power 3 in order to get 8. So this should be 3 minus 4, which should give us -1. So using the property, we're able to simplify the log and then solve for the value of log of 2, log of base 2, A over B. All right, we can move on to another property which we call the equality property. Basically what this means is that, let's write the property and then I'll explain. So if you have a log of a, log of base a of b, it is the same as log of a base c. So if you have a log like this, if you have two logarithmic equations, because they have the same base, you can equate the numbers above or the values above. So b will be equal to c. This doesn't always mean that b has to be the same number as c, but you can just equate them. Okay. All right, we can do an example. We can use the same example of a log and the number is the same, they cancel out. So basically, if log of a should be equal to 1, right? Log of b, base b of b should be equal to 1. And then we can do the example. So if we have log of base 2 of 2, what we did before was that when we had 8, we asked ourselves, what number do we have to raise 2 to in order to get 8, and which was 3. So with this one, we asked ourselves the same thing. What do we have to raise 2 to the power of in order to get the value of 2? It's just 1. So you can think of this as like canceling out. So the 2 and the 2 will cancel out, giving you 1. We can do another example. Log of 2 of 4. So for something like this, you could use the old method of one number. Do you have to raise 2 to in order to get 4, which would be 2. But because we're using this equality rule, we can rewrite 4 as log of base 2 to the power 2. So the 2's will cancel out, leaving us with 2, which is the same thing. Okay, we want to move on to another property. So let's say we have a log of a raised to the power b. You can rewrite this as b log of a. We're gonna move to this side to do an example using this one. Okay, so let's say we have log of 4 to the power 3. We can rewrite this as bring the exponent, bring it to the front of the expression. So log of 4, these are equivalent. And this is important because you always want to simplify your logarithms in order to make it an easier process for everybody. Because if you wanted to solve this, you would have to, 4 times 4 times 4. But with this, you can just, so let's do an example with bases. So let's say we have log of base 2, 4 to the 3 power. So following the property, we bring the exponent to the front. So log of 3 times log of base 2 times 4. So from the previous examples, we know that log of base 2 of 4 has to be 3 times 2. So this simplifies to 6. And it's a very cleaner and easier method instead of trying to just rack your brain to evaluate whatever value you're given. So we can, now what we're gonna do for the final part of our lesson today, we're gonna combine all these properties and try to solve expressions basically. Okay. So let's say example, you have log base 2 to the power 16 plus log base 3 to the 9 minus log of base 3 to the we'll say 9 over 27, or rather let's do it 27 over 9. Okay, so an example like this, we'll just use the properties from before. So log of base 2 of 16, this you can simplify to log of 2. Try to get everything to the base, right? So what number do you have to raise 2 to in order to get 4? In order to get 16, which would be 4. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. So plus log of base 3 of 9. So similarly, we can just do log of 3 raised to the power 2, because 3 times 3 will give us 9. And then we subtract. For this one, remember, when we have a quotient or two numbers dividing, we can break them apart using subtraction. So minus log of 3, 27. Let's put a parentheses. So log of 3, 27 minus log of base 3 to 3. Okay, so now we can also use a different property to simplify this even further. So remember when we had, if you have a log of a to the power b, is the same as saying b log of a. So we bring the 4 to the front. 4 log of 2 plus 2 log of base 3 minus log of 3. 27, we can rewrite that as 3 to the power 3. So the negative cancels out, becomes a positive, and we can just rewrite log of 3. So now we can simplify some of these, right? If we have log of, remember that was another property, if you have the log of a to the a, or if you have the same base as your number or expression, this cancels out to give you 1. So we know this will just be 4 times 1 plus 2. This will also give us 1 minus, for this one we can combine properties. So we bring the exponent to the front, and then log of 3 will just give us 1 again, plus, remember, this is the same thing we did here, log of 3 to the base 3 is also 1. So now it's just a matter of simple addition and subtraction. 4 plus 2 minus 3 plus 1. So 4 plus 2, 6, plus 1, 7, minus 3 will give us 4. Okay, so yeah, this is just combining all the properties together, and it's just practice. Once you get the hang of it, this will be very easy, and you can apply this to going forward. You can use it for derivatives, to simplify integration. As you go on, you learn all about this, and this will just become, you just keep it at the back of your mind, and it will help you break down problems, more complex solutions. Yeah, thank you.